So they come along and they said, oh, you're a human trafficker. I said, well, I've never transported anyone. I've never kidnapped anyone. I've never restricted anyone. I've never held anyone. They said, no, but you're a human trafficker via the lover boy method. I said, what's that? It's where you pretend to love them. So what, being nice? So I was nice to some girls 10 years ago? Is that my crime? Maybe I did love them. But we're not together anymore, so what? I pretended? Who said I pretended? Prove I pretended to love. And then what did I pretend to love them to achieve? I was all about trying to get paid. Like I used sex as a tool to make women love me so they'd obey me and live in my house and make me money. That's what I wanted. So I was a pimp in that sense. Like, I was not trying to have sex with women. I was trying to get women to obey me. And I realized that's easier if they like to have sex with me.
Andrew and Tristan Tate charged with grape, trafficking, and other crimes in the UK. All right.
The British government has charged Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan with rape and human trafficking, among other charges. The BBC reports the Crown Prosecution Service filed the charges after receiving new evidence against the far-right influencer brothers from a regional police station. Andrew Tate faces 10 charges connected to 3 alleged victims, while Tristan faces 11 charges connected to 1 alleged victim, on allegations dating back between 2012 and 2015, according to reports. The brothers have previously rejected the UK allegations, saying they are, quote, very innocent men. Despite also facing similar charges in their country of residence, Romania, the British-American brothers were allowed to return to the United States in February. At the time, Andrew said of the charges against them,
we live in a democratic society where it's innocent until proven guilty, and I think my brother and I are largely misunderstood. There's a lot of opinions about us, a lot of things that go around about us on the internet. We've yet to be convicted of any crime in our lives ever.
Reports say they have since returned to Romania, where they face charges of sex with a minor and trafficking. They both deny the allegations. According to the BBC, those charges will be handled after the criminal cases are concluded in Romania.
So that's the situation with Andrew Tate. New charges, new information, this time the UK. The situation with Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate that have been going on in Romania, that has been going on since 2022. It still has not concluded. This feels like just a never-ending story, a never-ending situation. The vibe that Andrew Tate wants to give online is that things keep popping up, and then they go to jail, and then they defeat it, they squash it, it's no longer an issue, then they're free. And then something new comes up. That, I don't know about y'all, but that was the vibe. That's the vibe that I get from Andrew and Tristan Tate. That's the story they're trying to sell. The Matrix keeps inventing new bullshit. They get them arrested. Their house gets raided. They get put in handcuffs, put in jail, and then they win, and then they're free again. But that hasn't been the case. The same situation that they have been fighting in Romania since 2022. So 3 years about that now. That's still going on. And now the UK, they have brought new charges against them. So honestly, I think they're cooked. I'd be surprised if they even beat the Romanian cases.
Let's actually look at the type of people that Andrew and Tristan are.
It's like taking the virginity of a really beautiful woman. I get to have this experience and no one else gets to have it again.
This is Tristan Tate, I believe, describing what it's like smoking a cigar. Now, I've smoked many cigars in my life. Pause. I don't know why that sounded weird, but I've smoked cigars and it is an enjoyable experience. But the way bro is gassing this shit, bro, is insane. Check this out.
Really beautiful woman. I get to have this experience and no one else gets to have it again. It is a little bit better, but the real pleasure is in the fact that somebody else would love to have this and I get it. That's why this is good. That makes sense.
What's a little bit better? Is taking the virginity a little bit better? Point is, listen to how this man talks about relishing taking the virginity of a girl. These are supposedly men that are riling up young men to be disgusted with the current state of society and how we have gotten away from traditional values isn't like the biggest gripe at the heart of that side of the internet that would be described as the manosphere, that women are whores, all women are whores now. Well, you know who's not a whore? A fucking virgin. She's literally never had sex before. And listen to how he describes sullying, defiling the body of an innocent, right? A woman who has not yet gone into, and I'm not saying that if a girl isn't a virgin, there's something wrong with her. There's not, right? But the point is, this is fucking bullshit. It's so hypocritical.
I'll give you that. I agree with that.
When you are in the true abundance mindset of you can have the pick of the crop, you can have the world's most attractive women. I mean, one of my main chicks has 200,000 Instagram followers, and I took her virginity when she was 17. It's an abundance mindset.
Weird. Again, weird. That he's flexing that.
Yeah. I have so many girlfriends and so many wonderful girlfriends and so many virgins.
She was a Polish virgin. Man, it hurt her at every moment that I was doing it, but it felt good for me, so who gives a shit?
Again, talking about taking a girl's virginity. She was in pain the entire time, which, you know, that is oftentimes a painful experience for women when that is happening to them. And he's just like, man, it's almost like it made it sweeter knowing that he was doing it. And, you know, these dudes are evil, bro. This is fucking sick. This is villainous.
As you can see there from that clip, that was mainly Tristan Tate. But don't worry, we'll get around to Andrew. He said he wants virgins. And what he likes about pressing virgins is that he gets to have that experience first and no one else does. Bearing in mind, these are men that want to help other men. They want to encourage other men to be better men. And they turn around and laugh in other men's face by saying, ha, I got this little virgin before you. Not only that, look at the words he said and the confidence he said it in when he was smoking that cigar. He actually had the audacity to say, this is what I'm saying, my man is slow. He had the audacity to say, it was hurting her the entire time she did it, but it felt good for me, so what?
Yeah.
Man, it hurt her at every moment that I was doing it, but it felt good for me, so who gives a shit?
This guy is a low IQ dunce. They really think they're ahead of the...
You know, because that is also how a woman would probably describe grape. So I'm not saying that situation that he's talking to, that was what was going on, but doesn't help. You know what I mean? That this is out here and he's literally being accused of grape. Oh, it hurt. It hurt the entire time. How do you think he knows that it hurt the entire time? She was probably just articulating a lot of pain.
The curve. They think they're smart. They're not. They're slow. They're stupid. They're low IQ. If that's how you really feel about women and really feel about people in general, you actually have to be so dumb to say that out loud publicly. Keep that between you and your dumb brother. Now, we've all seen, I mean, if you haven't seen it, I don't think I'll be able to play it on YouTube, but most of us have seen the video of Andrew Tate beating up that girl. Like, he was laying hands on her, putting hands on her. Multiple hands he's put on that young girl. And he
was piecing her up. Now, of course, the story is that it was consensual. And so, okay, you know, some people like some real freaky shit in bed. That's fucking weird. That's, I mean, if there's going to be if there's a personality of the kind of guy who gets off on, you know what I'm saying, forcing women, making women do shit against their will, it would be the kind of dude that also gets off on like beating them up while they're having sex.
It was all jokes, it was all this, but he was literally slapping her around and like dominating her and things like that. The guy's a sicko. This is a quote from Andrew Tate himself. I am called a sociopath, psychopath, narcissist, arrogant, etc. Nobody questions my success or intellect as they are indisputable. They only question my character as that's a subjective assessment. I consider myself a nice man, but I am clearly superior to anyone. Is that what a nice man says, superior? Or is that what a narcissist says, whose self-image is so inflated that he thinks he is better than everyone else? Ask yourself how that mindset translates to women. And bearing in mind, he is a professional pimp. He's whored out women on OF, on webcam, and all these things. And he takes the majority of the money. He uses a lover boy method.
Let them take full control over their accounts. They will run away. I like to keep the girls' passwords. I log them in and log them out.
Again, who in their right mind thinks that these dudes like were good guys? These are not good guys. These are the bad guys. These guys are villains. Who articulates shit like that? Think about it. I don't let the girls that work for me keep the passwords to their accounts because if I do, they'll run away? Huh? So they don't actually want to be around you. They don't want to work with you. They would just run away. Slaves run away. Prisoners run away.
If you give the girl the password to her account, there's a chance she could run away and try it by herself. I've had that happen.
Like who even describes things like for instance, let's say you have an employee. You hire people and you put them on. You teach them some skills that make them incredibly marketable. And then they're like, oh, you know what? I could make more money working for a different company or doing my own thing. And so they leave. The boss of that company wouldn't describe that as the employee running away. They would say, oh, you know, they quit. Oh, they'll quit. They'll go work for somebody else. They'll go work for themselves. These men see these women as actual chattel, as property. No differently than people look at slaves or prisoners.
Girls, let them take full control over their accounts.
So they come along and they said, oh, you're a human trafficker. I was like, well, I've never transported anyone. I've never kidnapped anyone. I've never restricted anyone. I've never held anyone. They said, no, but you're a human trafficker via the lover boy method. I said, what's that? It's where you pretend to love them. So what, being nice? So I was nice to some girls 10 years ago? Is that my crime? Maybe I did love them. But we're not together anymore, so what? I pretended? Who said I pretended? Prove I pretended to love. And then what did I pretend to love them to achieve?
So yeah, on corporatate.com, I have my PhD program, and that is PhD is a pimp and hose degree that I'm.
Oh my gosh. I mean, rappers would be proud. Level of self-snitching. He says he calls himself a pimp. Oh, but he's just joking. He's trying to be funny. Okay, let's hear him articulate it.
Clever. That teaches basically how I got girls, how I met girls, how I got girls to like me, how I got girls to fall in love with me to work on webcam for me. Because that's what I did. That was my MO, was find girls, make them love me, and make them work for me. And that's how I got rich.
That's literally the lover boy method. Bro, you have to understand, Andrew Tate being rich is not impressive. In the same way, it's not impressive for you to get rich as a drug dealer. I mean, it requires a degree of intelligence and effort and strategizing. So we can't say, right, not everybody can be Pablo Escobar. Not that I'm saying these guys are Pablo Escobar level fucking criminals. You know, I wouldn't put them in that league, but you know, it does take, not every guy who sits on the corner ends up with millions of dollars hidden in their walls behind drywall. You feel me? And so you got to give credit where credit is due. That said, though, it's like they're just scamming lonely, sad, pathetic men out of their money, using women that they've deceived and are essentially holding hostage. That's not admirable. That's not impressive that you got rich like that.
I was all about trying to get paid. Like I used sex as a tool to make women love me so they'd obey me and live in my house and make me money. That's what I wanted. So I was a pimp in that sense. Like I was not trying to have sex with women. I was trying to get women to obey me. And I realized that's easier if they like to have sex with me.
That's literally the lover boy method. Any Andrew Tate fan that wants to cope for this, you are literally a brainwashed dick sucker, bro. I have no idea. Like, he is not your father. He is not your daddy, bro. Wake up. He's a criminal. Imagine if that was your sister or some woman in your life that you love. I hope you can identify at least one person, one human being with a vagina that you actually like as a person. I hope you're not such a pathetic woman hater that you can find at least one woman in your life that you wouldn't want bad things to happen to. Now, imagine that chick, especially if she's a virgin, because, you know, that's what Tristan seems to like. Imagine that chick, some dude starts talking to her and trying to sauce her up, you feel me? Spit game. She starts to think that this is a guy that is genuinely interested in her, attracted to her, wants to fly her out, show her a good time. He brings her over there to some distant country, starts having sex with her, convinces her that they're in a relationship, and then starts to make her do webcam shit and make money. Then he takes all of the money or most of the money, lies about it, that the reason he needs to take so much of the money is for tax purposes. That was one of the lies he would tell. He restricts her from having access to her actual shit for the sake of making it hard for her to run away, to escape. Which tells you what, a lot of these women, they don't want to be there. They came there under false pretenses. And so now they want to leave because they realize that they got scammed.
They don't like having sex with me. It's pretty hard to make them listen to me.
He manipulates women, gets them to do his bidding, makes him a lot of money from them, and he believes he's superior to everyone else. You can see, when have you ever heard me say something like that? Now, I don't think I'm better than...
When have you ever heard literally 99% of men say something like that? Like, this is a fucking criminal. And it really is just a reflection of the sad state of society and young men. Men are so lost, man. Young men are so lost. They don't understand how to empower themselves. They don't understand how to actually get what they want in life. They feel so disempowered, so weak. And so when a guy like Andrew Tate comes along, they look at him like he's some kind of fucking superhero because he says things that they dream they would be able to say and get away with. Young dudes, they just don't know how to empower themselves, man. But that's the kind of shit we talk about over on my spiritual channel, if you want to check that shit out. Once I started approaching life from an energetic, from an esoteric angle, everything changed. Everything changed. Everything started getting better immediately. The reality is you do have control over the course of your life. In fact, the reality is you're the one in control over your life. Every aspect of your life that makes you as a young man feel disempowered and unable, you're the reason it's like that. And the solution isn't fucking ice baths and going to the gym. Not that those things aren't good things. It's understanding the power of your mind in regards to how you shape reality. And so if you're interested in exploring those topics in a deeper capacity, go ahead and check out my spiritual channel. Link in the description. We all reap what we sow, and we all get exactly what we deserve.